Who jumps out of perfectly good airplanes in the name of science? Mr. C.
Happy downhill day to you, 7th grade. And this time next week, you will be enjoying spring break. Woohoo! So it will be cool. But in the meantime, we've got a little bit of work to do. And I want to get you ready for Friday's small test or quiz. So anyway, you've got your journal out, yeah? Hey, anything I tell you that most likely is going to be on that quiz, why wouldn't you put that in your journal? I think you will. So I don't think I need to ask that question. You've got your lesson planner out. Your homework tonight is just review for your quiz. And as usual, guess what I'm putting up in homework notes? You guessed her, Chester. The topics that Friday's quiz/test is going to cover. So anyway, that'll all be there. So if you'd take out the pillars chart, the evolution pillars chart, if you'd take that out, I'm going to ask you just some basic information about it and review a little bit about it. But first, I wanted to show you this and not spend a long time on it, but some of you were aware of this in the news. A meteor crashed into the atmosphere over Vermont and exploded. It was traveling, I can't remember how fast, maybe 40,000 miles an hour, they estimated, and it ran into the atmosphere and heated up so quickly it blew up. And there was no damage, no injury, but there was big sound, as you would expect, tremendous sound that people heard on the ground, and it even some seismographs, which measure earthquakes, measured some shaking on the earth, a little bit. Not like a big earthquake, but like a teeny earthquake. So anyway, interesting stuff, and I want to make the point. Mars doesn't have an atmosphere. So meteors like this become meteorites and crash into the surface of Mars. Same thing on the moon. That's a rarity on the moon now. Most of the craters were formed a long time ago, maybe shortly after Adam and Eve messed up. We don't know. And then Mars the same way. But we still get one once in a while running into our atmosphere and burning up. Once in a while we get one so big that it ends up hitting the surface of the earth. I'll show you the biggest meteorite that we're aware of some future time. Maybe tomorrow if I remember. But tomorrow's just a half day, so anyway, probably wouldn't have time tomorrow to mention it or go over it. So if you don't have the evolution pillars chart, they're available on the bottom shelf there by the stacker. Perhaps Mr. Phillip would be willing to hand one out to you. Please hang on to it. Please keep it in your journal. Please, please. So anyway, a number of other things that I wish to show you. So, and up they come. And yes, indeedy, they are all there. So let's see if I can find these really quick. So, and I've got a number of videos to show you, or a video to show you as well. Okay, I'm seeing if I can run into this. So it's taking me a little longer. There it is. Okay, so remember I showed you this yesterday, and it was an analogy. So here it is. You're looking at a beautiful red Ferrari, and I simply told you that evolution is like a red Ferrari that has no engine in it, so it can't go anywhere. Well, evolution claims that it's got a great way to make living things change, mutations, when they're bad. Mutations are bad. They're almost always bad. They're harmful, extremely rare. They can be fatal. So it's just not a good mechanism. And then they're supposed to work with natural selection, but all it does is gets rid of anything that's changed. Now I want to make a point, and I need to clarify. I showed you the snow leopard, if I could talk. I showed you the snow leopard video. And I love that video. But in that video, they said, and I made this point yesterday, I think again, but I need to clarify a little bit. They said the snow leopard had adapted to the climate, the habitat of a very high altitude area in some of the highest mountain ranges of the world. Okay, Mr. C, when God created animals, and then the animals that came on the ark and came off the ark after the flood, did they have different genes in them which could have produced different species which would have allowed for some slight adaptations? Yes, but not massive adaptations where one animal would change into a totally different kind of animal and it would change and it would change and so on. Slight adaptations, but that's not evolution. That's just built-in change that God made to produce different species of the same kind of animal. Like you start with a big cat and you end with a big cat. No new animal. But it could have produced slight variations, in cats, in large cats. So I hope I'm clarifying and making that clear for you. Okay? So anyway, on the test on Friday, I might just ask you for one basic evidence for each of the FOAMN plus B pillars. FOAMN plus B. F for fossils, no tweeners, no ape men, evidence of the flood. Probably just one evidence from the FOAMN pillar, from the F pillar. The O pillar. Lots of evidence that the Earth and the solar system and the galaxy, for that matter, isn't that old, but young. Indirect evidence of young, thousands of years old, not millions and billions. Like what? Too much water in rocks on the Earth's surface. Too much gas in Earth's rocks. They should have leaked out a long time ago. The Earth's too hot. It should have leaked out its internal heat. The moon the same way. Should have leaked out its internal heat. So I like the sun. Just the evidence for a faint sun. The sun is way faint right now. It's not compared to some stars like Betelgeuse and Rigel. It's not that big, but it's just right for us to produce just the right amount of heat and light for us. So, but if it were millions and millions of years old or billions of years old, like evolutionists say it is, it would be way bigger and way hotter and not good for us. So it's too faint. So that's an issue. And then, I've told you about the fossils that have DNA in them and red blood cells and hemoglobin and dinosaur fossils. It would have all deteriorated after a few thousand years. So it doesn't make sense unless those fossil dinosaurs are relatively young, thousands of years old, which fits when the flood happened and, the estimated age of the Earth creation-wise. So anyway, all of that, I'm just letting you know that those pillars probably show up on the test on Friday. The A pillar, the accident pillar, doesn't match the law of cause and effect. Things don't happen by accident. So, or the law of life. Life doesn't happen by accident. It's got to be produced by other living things. So that doesn't work. Living things are way too complex. They need their equipment and their instincts, like the snow leopard right now, or they'll die. So that doesn't make sense. The M pillar, you already know, mutations, rare, harmful, fatal. And then natural selection doesn't make any change. It gets rid of change. And then the Big Bang, all kinds of issues. So where did the particles come from? Why did the particles attract? They were tiny. Why would they have gravity, enough gravity to attract each other? Why is everything rotating? The galaxies, the stars rotating, the planets rotating, the moons rotating. A giant explosion wouldn't create rotation. It would just create a straight line explosion. Kaboom! And you know that explosions don't create order, they create chaos. So Big Bang things, kinds of things. So anyway, all of that, I'm going to ask you in one way or another. Now, today I wanted to, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I wanted to just go over the characteristics of minerals again. They certainly will be on there. NICCS. Minerals are, so first of all, naturally occurring, not man-made. So, and you'll see this on a video in a minute. They're inorganic, not from living things, so coal wouldn't be a mineral because it's organic. It's from plant material that got buried in the Great Flood. So, and then C, unique or definite chemical structure, the atoms that minerals are made of, and then a definite or unique crystalline structure. So I have an example of that. This is a quartz crystal. All quartz crystals have this shape. They could be way bigger or way smaller, but they all have this shape. They could have different colors. Like amethyst is a kind of quartz. It's purple, my favorite mineral actually, and it's going to be in heaven. But anyway, they all have this shape. So the crystals of a certain kind of mineral are all the same. So all the crystals that make up that mineral are the same, no matter their size or their color. So anyway, important stuff. Okay. Let's see what else. And then S, they've all got to be solids. So naturally occurring, inorganic, unique crystals, unique chemicals, pardon me, for each mineral, and they're solids. Not liquids, not gases, but solids. Okay, so good stuff. All right, let's see what else. I've got to make sure I time this just right because I have this nice little video that I want you to see. So did I have any other photos that I wanted to show you? No, I think that's it. Just all of these topics. So the foam and pillars, the characteristics of minerals, they're all going to end up on the quiz. And today in the video, they're going to highlight again properties of minerals, like its color, its hardness from the Mohs, M-O-H-S, hardness scale. And then there's luster, how it reflects light. And then there's how dense it is, how tight the atoms are packed. So, and whether it'll scratch or not on a streak plate. Its streak color could be different from its regular color. So all of these are properties. Okay. On the Mohs hardness scale, the hardest of all you'll see on this video is diamond, and the softest mineral, number 1 on the Mohs hardness scale, is talc. You can actually scratch it with your fingernail. So anyway, I think that about does it. I'll make sure these show up on Wednesday's homework notes. Okay, so this first quiz that's coming up, it's going to be on, it's going to find itself on the 4th quarter. Okay, so you'll watch this video, you're going to take notes, you're going to put these notes in your journal on the properties of minerals, the characteristics of minerals. I think it's well done. I think you'll enjoy it. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Phillip, after the video, he's going to answer any questions that you might have. So anyway, so ask him. This video should take you right about to the 25 or 26 minute mark, and then there'll be lots of time for clarification, and then he may even give you time to review on your own a little bit, so which is your homework tonight. So away you go with the video, Mr. Phillip. Thank you very much.